Joining us now, Utah Senator Mike Lee. Senator, great to have you here. A lot to get to. First, I'll put up on the screen just how hard this is hitting the average American family in this country. You look at gas prices continue to rise. $4.17 is the national average. That is today, and that is a record high. And that is leading to forecasts now that those rising gas prices are going to cause serious pain for the average American household. In 2022, Yardeni Research is estimating it's going to cost the average family $2,000 more this year just because of the rise in the price of gasoline at the pump. That is a serious amount of dollars that will be leaving the American family just for gasoline, Senator.
No, that's right, Sandra, and it's also compounding together with other inflationary forces. We've found that just over the last year, the average American household is spending $385 or more every single month on the things that they ordinarily buy. In Utah and other parts of the Intermountain West, that number is much higher at $511 a month. These are extra costs folded into everything people buy. They're not getting anything more in return for that. It's not like they're able to save for their child's college education fund with that additional $511 a month. It just goes into nothing. And the more that gasoline prices increase, the more that folds into everything else. In other words, it's not just about the gasoline they put in their car, but the higher fuel costs also get folded into groceries and everything else they purchase.
Obviously, there's a lot more to dig into there, including a new Bankrate.com study that shows the average American family in the middle of this spiking inflation, 65% of American families are living paycheck to paycheck right now, and that could become a much bigger problem as oil prices continue to go higher. Here was President Biden on all of this just a moment ago when he announced that the U.S. will now ban all Russian oil imports. Listen.
They have 9,000 permits to drill now. They could be drilling right now, yesterday, last week, last year. They are not using them for production now. That's their decision.
So this is something we've heard a lot from this administration, Senator. We've heard it from President Biden. We've heard it from Jen Psaki. We've heard it from the Energy Secretary Granholm. They continue to tout that they are not pulling back oil production in this country. In fact, they tout that 9,000 leases that are going untapped right now. What is your response to that based on the fact that oil's at $130 a barrel? If it behooved these companies to tap into those leases, they most certainly would be doing so. So why aren't they?
Yeah, look, these are rational actors. They're not tapping those because it's not profitable or hasn't been. And he can say all he wants, that there are oil leases that are still producing but not producing enough. The fact is, on day one, he canceled all oil and gas leasing on federal lands. He took Keystone XL pipeline off the table. He has banned oil and gas development in places like Anwar. These are things that we need to be developing. And there is a regulatory environment that is overtly hostile toward fossil fuels. Look, we want to control inflation. President Biden wants to control Americans. He's got something very wrong there. We need to open up opportunities, and that means producing more energy at home. We can produce energy here, oil and gas, less expensively and in a more environmentally responsible fashion than they can do almost anywhere in the world. But instead of doing these things, he's going to our enemies, hat in hand, asking them to produce more oil. That's wrong.
Senator, I'll put up on the screen the share of U.S. petrol imports as far as overall energy needs that we are trying to meet here in the United States and how much we have been taking in from Russia. This is 2020, 7%. So you take that into consideration with the news today that we're now banning that energy from coming into the United States. And I'll end with this, Senator. All of the actions that we are seeing taking place right now is to try to stop the pain that Vladimir Putin is bringing on the people in Ukraine. And the pain and human suffering that we continue to see at this hour is just absolutely devastating. And the world continues to watch this. Is anything we are doing right now going to stop Vladimir Putin?
There's nothing that we're doing that has stopped him thus far. I can't tell the future. No one can. I would certainly hope that cooler minds would prevail, but they have a hard time doing that in a country that's dominated by one person, Vladimir Putin, and that's kind of scary. But look, there's no reason that we have to compound our own problems here. We become less capable of helping our own people and other people around the world when we commit unforced errors. And so this problem didn't accrue overnight. This has been a long developed, carefully nurtured set of circumstances brought about by the Biden administration. The inflation of the United States and of the energy sector are not attributable to Vladimir Putin. They're attributable here to bad policies at home. We've got to turn those around.
Senator, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. And our hearts go out to all those who are battling this right now in this moment. So many heroes there trying to help these people.